see what we got here. Hey guys, welcome to another live stream. I fix my chair real quick here. As you guys could see here, we are going to do some game development today. Well, I actually was streaming like a couple hours ago, like 1 hour ago, I think. But I had to end the stream because of stuff that I was doing. But yeah, I'm back. Basically. We're just gonna go ahead, fix this small game that I'm working on. See how far we can get. Great, my chair is broken. What the fuck? So yeah, there's just a couple things that I gotta work on this game. The jump scares, I gotta add more jump scares to it. And this is only one monster that I'm creating, that I'm adding to the game. There's actually more that I'm gonna have to add in the future as well. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what we have so far. So let's go ahead and start this shit. So it's got a jump scare sound. I'm gonna go ahead and also unmute the music, the volume. You can see there's that's one jump scare. And there's another jump scare over here. It just looks at you and then runs away. And then there's one all the way up here. This is the last one. And then you have to go up there and, you know, do something. But this is the last jump scare. So you click on this. It plays this ominous sound. You don't know what is going on, basically. But if you look at that, you can see that thing just comes out of nowhere and runs up to you. Yeah, let's see. Remove that. Interesting. I did that. Oh yeah, that sound is also still playing in the background after the jump scare. I think it should not play after the jump scare. But yeah, you can see that is what happens. This this huggy wuggy from behind here actually just switches. So you can see there's one that's waving, and then there's one behind it. This is the one that launches after when the user looks up, basically. If the user looks at the doll, it will just come at the user. And that is the jump scare. That's the last jump scare. But there's more I gotta work on here because there's two doors here. So there's two paths the user can take. They can take this one, which is one jump scare there, or they can take this, which does not have a jump scare. So what I was thinking of was adding one right here. When the user walks in, you can see that thing right there, but I don't think if you can see it if you are playing. Let's see, because I didn't see it actually. So if I go here, oh, you can actually kind of see it. There it is. Yeah, that's actually not bad. It is actually scary, but you have to actually be looking. So if I'm looking down and just walking, yeah, it's kind of there. I guess the only way it should be activated is when I'm looking at the door. somehow, right? So if I get in from here and then I look, yeah, this should also work as well when I'm looking right here. Somewhere like, because this actually has way more full, like you can see the whole thing. It actually gets closer to you. As you see, when I move around, you can see that eye and the mouth as well. But if I look around like this, not that well. It's because of the camera is, you know, rotating. You kind of see it. I guess what we could do is, so if the user takes that route, if I go closer, you can see, comes out, bam. And then this one, I guess we could put that one like right here, right on this wall. So if the user walks through this and they look around here, it will scare them basically. So walk through this and then I turn around and that is where the jump scare will be. If you walk, that is if you walk through this door. This one's not gonna execute again because they already did. Only runs one time. And yeah, we're gonna have to move this one right here. Let's do it. But yeah, there is actually another problem. Now, when the user does come through this door, they have, you know, two options. One is going up here and the other one is going that way. So if the user walks in through here and doesn't look up, that jump scare is not going to work. So that means if the user walks in through here and they decide to go that way, we need to also add another jump scare here. So we'll have to wait, and then when the user gets close, that is when we're going to add a jump scare right there. Oh yeah, there's also this bug that I also had to work on as well. So let's see. So I'm gonna play this, right? We're not gonna walk close to that door there. We're just gonna walk in through here. Now if I walk in through here and I go around, I'm not looking at the thing, I'm just gonna look back, and now if I look at that, so it still triggers it even if I'm not looking right at it, like, you know, but it thinks I am looking at it because it's using the camera as the way to, you know, trigger this. So we need to do something about it, like so whenever we pick a different path to go with, so if we go with this path, that would mean that is not going to work anymore. So if we go through here, that is not going to work. So this would be the one that's activated. This would be the jump scare that's going to be activated, which would also make it so this doesn't run even if the user walks out basically and comes back in. It will not run anymore. So this would mean the user will walk in through here. They have two paths to take, which is gonna there will be a jump scare. So right here, there will not be a jump scare if they go through this, because we do have actually a jump scare up here. So if you go through here, there is one jump scare. You can see that thing just running away basically, so that's good. But it's just if you go through this path, then that's when we need to put a jump scare. So you walk in and you go this way, this is where we need to put that jump scare, you know. So if you get in from here, it's going to be one there, and then there will be one up here as well. How do I do it though? I was thinking of just putting one there. That's not good. Because we go that way, it's gonna, and then this one is also going to run a jump scare, which is gonna cause that one to not work because we went with this path. Yeah, I don't think we really need. So one of them will be there because. So the reason why we have one out right at this door is because if you do go through this door, you can just walk through that stairs. But you know, you can also walk around and go this way. And that jump scare will probably not work if you go through that door. It will cause that to not work. So in this case, if you go through this door, you have two paths to take. One is here, and the other one isn't here. So if you come through here, there will still be a jump scare here. I'm thinking of adding the monster walking. Let's see, what kind of monster can we use here for this stairs? See if there's any other huggy wuggy monster that we can use. Oh, look at that. Oh, not arrows. Huggy wuggy. This one's not bad. How many scripts? 6 fucking scripts. That's crazy. Okay, let's see what this does. I think this actually moves. Damn. It's got some hands and shit. Torso. Oh, it's. What the fuck? It's those hands. Nah, I don't like the model. Let's look for a different model. Let's see. Which one is a good one? Which one is a scary one, basically, that I have not used? This one actually might work, I think. You know. Yeah, just doing that. I think this would be scary for the kids. Yeah. Just make it a little bit smaller. Kind of like this one, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure there are enough scripts in it. Let's see, so this one is going to be right here. Can we? So it's standing like that. That's the head. This is the torso. And this is the head. What we can do is maybe rotate those two. So Control Shift. maybe what I can do is make the head rotate more. So like that. And then we can make it rotate the other way. Let's see, where's the neck? It's so hard to fucking see. Oh my god, just come here. No. Come here. There you go. Wait, it looks like it's actually see-through as well. No? Is it not see-through? No. Maybe it's not see-through. Okay. Okay, so we have the head. There is this torso, which if I do rotate this head, so it's rotating like that. We need to bring it like this as well. But it has to be, you know, in that position right there. That position should not change. That's the thing, because the way this is made, it's always going to be different a bit. It's gonna look weird, so it's okay. Let's see if I can make the head rotate and move to the position. Is there a primary part in here? Yeah, I think the primary part is that. Let's see, does it have a primary part? That's nuts. That's the primary part. Okay, hit 2. Okay, so we have this head. Just give it a parent. And we want it to move, rotate basically. I'm gonna create a function. Rotate head. So in this case, it's gonna rotate to the left. Rotate head left. I can't remember how I made the thing work, but we do have something here that works with rotation. I'm just gonna copy that shit. I cannot be asked, you know what I'm saying? So we got this. This is Nightmare 2, which is the one that runs away from the user. So we're going to copy this. So this also has to kind of work with the position of that head as well. A little bit. And we are, I think we're rotating, let's see, what are we rotating? I think it's the Z, actually, maybe it's the X. I don't know what this blue, I think the blue is X and, right? Or maybe the blue is Y. I don't know. Let's see, what is the blue? Sorry, hold shift. Oh, great. That, yeah, I think it is actually Z. So the blue here is Z, which is what we need to make a rotate. And in this case, when we're going this way, it seems like it decreases. So we're going to be changing Z, which is this one. This is Z. I'm going to use -I, and then put this to 0. Not sure if this is going to work. I'm going to use wait. Let's wait for 3, and then print init head rotate. Rotate left. Okay, here we go. Run! Oh, interesting. I think it did work, but that was very fast. Let's make this a little bit slower. And the value here is too much. It's gotta go very slow. Maybe around 1. Let's see it. Whoa, interesting. We're gonna go to 3, and interesting, it's doing something else there. What the fuck is going on? It's going that way, but I need it to, I think I have to put minus here. I need it to go this way. There we go. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Very good. So it is something like that, but a bit slower, I would say. Would work fine as well. Let's see if that works. Whoa, whoops, that actually broke the whole thing. Yeah, let's put this back to 2 maybe, and then we're gonna go by 1. It's starting from 0, then does that. Here we go, let's see. It is really fast though. Let's say a little bit fast. Can I do 3.5? Yeah, it is going really fast. How do we make it slower? The rotation is really fast. I'm trying to make it slow, but it ain't working. So if we put 1, give it 0. 2, 0, 1 maybe? 0, 0, 1. Ooh, It's just gonna keep on going. That's crazy. Let's do 0 to 0.25. Ooh, that's too much as well. And we can go with that because that is also gonna be too much for this. I don't know, maybe I should use rad here. Is that gonna do anything? Because I'm using degrees, maybe. Yep, there we go. Okay, that actually kind of works. Yes. So you are supposed to use that red, however you say it. So here we could put like 10, for example, and it's gonna go very slowly. Watch it rotate. Look at that. Oh, still going. Very nice. Oh, that is creepy. Oh, it's done. Wow. Yeah, we could make this go faster. Look at that. Yes. That is what I'm talking about. So it seems like you do have to use rad for this if you're using like, you know, floating points instead of using degrees. Yeah, we need to go, I think we need to go like 180 to get all the way to where we want. Maybe let's add one more 0 here, see how fast it goes. It should be fast and smooth. Ooh, that's a little bit slow, I'd say. Oh, look at that, it's still going. Yeah, it's really, really slow. Okay, yeah, yeah, it seems like 180 is actually the one that we need here. It's gonna stop like somewhere here, I think. Right? It should stop there. Okay, it's not 180. That's too much. I think it's 160 or 140. Yeah, let's go with one. Let's go with 145. I'm gonna go increase the speed a little bit. I'm just gonna go ahead and print. Gonna print I just so we see where I is and how fast it goes. Oh my god. Yeah, it's not 140. It's way lower than 140. 100 maybe? Nope. 80. 85. We're gonna go with 85. 85 looks like could be the one that we need to step up. Let's go 85. I'm gonna increase by 0.5 maybe. Alright, here we go. So let's see it now. Should be a bit smoother now. There we go. Ooh, okay. Interesting. That's 85. I think it needs to go a bit lower, so maybe around 90. I think 90 was the one that we needed here. Okay. So we have the head rotation. As you can see, once it does complete the rotation, the head is actually all the way here and the torso is right here. So what we need to do is make sure that it stays in the same position as before. I don't know how we do that. I'm sure there is something related to the previous position. Minus the rotation. So let me see, you have to do this. So we have to do model minus that position. So we do so here we do, instead of local new pose is going to be the, and it's going to minus the new pose, which is going to be a empty vector. I think it's supposed to be a vector, right? I can't tell. Remember. Zero, zero, zero. So it's just gonna do minus nothing basically. But then here it's gonna get the new position. I think it's supposed to be a vector, C-frame actually, not a vector, because the new one is actually also going to give us, you know, almost the same thing. So here we're gonna get the current mode, like the current position after, you know, doing this. And then we just do that. I think I have to say new pose minus the last one, but I don't know. Yeah, we have to say new pose minus the previous one. But if we do that, it's just going to be 0, which is going to fuck the thing up. That's what I'm using. Let's see if this does something. I'm sure it should work. See? Oh, yep. Didn't work. Okay. Vector expected. Okay, so it does need a vector. Okay. I thought it needed C-frame. Okay, so I'm gonna put vector 3 here and see if this works. Okay, so the first one did work, but the second one did not work because right here we're actually getting C-frame. How do we convert this to a vector? Loop vector? Well, position is actually a vector itself. That's what position is. 3D, yeah. Right? I'm sure this should work. There we go. What the fuck? That did not work. I think I have to say plus, maybe? Let's do plus instead. This is interesting. Oh, no. Where the fuck did the head go? Shit. It just disappeared, bro. The head just said goodbye. I forgot to do this. New pose. Because when we're going this way, so I think we need to increase the vector. So we could do 0, maybe 1? 0, 0, 1? Let's see if 0, 0, 1 works. No, it's not the Z, it's the X maybe that we need to increase. We need to go up and to the left side. So it's Y and X. Let's see. Interesting. That really maybe kind of worked a little bit. Didn't really do anything. Should I do 1 here? See if it does anything. Nope. Interesting. Why isn't it working? That's because the model is actually staying the same, so it's not really changing the position for us. So for that to work, we actually do need to change the C frame to this, like every time. Because it's the same every time. Oh. Oh, right. So right here, it actually needs a vector. It needs a C frame. It's so confusing how this thing works. Oh, okay. That actually kind of works, surprisingly. But that was way too many spins. What the heck was that? I think it's because it's adding up on like the rotations over and over again, basically. Because we're actually getting it from where it is, and then it adds on top of that. So what we need to do here is actually lower this down to maybe 2. Let's go 3 maybe. Okay, kind of works. Let's do 10. Interesting. 10 works. Fuck, man, I hate this part. The rotation thing. It's gonna fuck this up. This is how you do it, though. I did find a way to, like, you know, get this thing to work. Just moving that. We can increase this as well, I think. Just like down a little bit. Because we need to add the fucking rotation. Breaks everything up for us. I think we need to move. It needs to move a bit quicker as well. Okay, so the high thing works, but the X is a bit slow to like move this one. Let's do 5 maybe. Interesting. $2.5. It's almost there. Close. We're getting close. So it's got to be a 3. Move by 3. Yeah. It's a bit weird. The like the the head rotation does look a little bit iffy, right? Because first it moves the head and then it does the rotate. Doesn't look realistic. Yeah, as you can see, first it moves the head to the right and somehow it rotates. I don't know. Right there. Huh. Interesting, very interesting. I don't know, maybe we could lower the speed a little bit. That would fix it. Nah. Whoa. What the fuck? What just happened there? That makes no sense. God damn. Okay, let's go with degrees. See if that does anything. Holy shit. Ooh. Degrees actually does seem to be working a little bit better. Does the rotations first. So that's maybe good for us. Let's go with the 1. Let's go to 1. Let's see how quick does it. Interesting. It just set right in the middle. Damn. We're gonna go to 3 and then just go by 1. too much? Let's go to 2, 2 then. No, 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 no. That's not correct. It's broken. Yeah, I hate the movement it does. Well, the only reason why this is happening is because of this thing that I added here. You know, just to keep the model in the same position. And to do that, we also need to use the C-frame angles. Doing that, meaning we have to add. And then when we're reusing it, it actually adds onto the rotation. Also adds onto this as well. I don't know, maybe we should use degrees with this one, right? Vector. No, I don't think we need to really. This is like positioning, so we don't need to use all this math, right? Because we're not really rotating anything. I don't know why I even thought of that. Because, you know, nothing's really happening here, you know? We're just doing some rotation. I mean, we're just doing some, yeah, look at that, some positioning, so. There's no need for that, basically. I think that's why that thing wasn't working well. Ooh. Holy shit, it's still moving. Interesting. Let's go with 5. Damn. Holy shit. What the fuck is going on? This thing was actually working before. But now it's just... really fucking up. Yeah, we gotta put this lower. Whoa, what happened? How did I just do that? Well, it seems like it kind of did move a little, so that's good. I don't know what the fuck happened. My camera just jammed. Didn't see the movement. Ooh, okay. Interesting. That's maybe a little bit better. It's just way too fast. I gotta go lower than that. And set this to 10 maybe. Ooh. Interesting. Let's go back to 90, which was the previous one. Oh. Okay. Something's happening. We're getting somewhere. Let's go to 15. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. It takes a while to get this thing right. Oh, okay. Okay, okay. That's interesting. That did kind of work. I think it's like 13. But we do need to work on the movement. Yeah, the movement a little. Nah, I think, yeah, 15 is probably the best. But this one has to go a bit more faster. Okay. The Y is a little too fast. The Y should go a bit, maybe 115. And then this one needs to go more, so maybe 5. Ooh. Interesting. That did work, but not really that well. No, you see, we can't go that fast with this one as well, because that is what we're gonna be getting, which is not what I need. I think it was 5, let's go 6. Need more 8. Yeah, something like that. This one has to be 1, I think. That's enough to get that high. Maybe lower than that. 0.5. Interesting. We do need to move the neck a little bit more. Let's try this. Almost there. And we should also lower this to 3. What I hate is how this thing works though, you know? So let's go like this. It's gonna make it a bit slower so we can see what's going on. So as you can see, it moves to the right first and then the rotation kicks in. But the rotation should be the one that's, you know, happening first. Oh, I didn't mean to click play. I wanted to run. So you can see it just goes whoop, and then does the rotation. But what we need to happen first is the rotating. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I think we should add this by maybe like that. Can we do that with this? Is that gonna break it? Ooh, that's actually a little bit better, maybe. That was actually interesting. Let's see this one. You can see it moving together. Let's go 2. Actually kind of fucks up the... It doesn't really do anything, it just makes it so it doesn't do the full rotation. Fuck. I think I could have fixed it. Motor minus motor. That's the previous one. I don't think that's gonna work. That will just be the same thing. can't use this because that actually breaks everything. Yep. That, oh, that does break a lot of stuff. How is that impossible? Why is it doing that? What if I just put one? Okay, what if I put two? Damn. That's a lot. This shit did work before I added all this thing. It was doing fine. It's this what? It's what broke it basically. Well, no, not really, because now what I'm doing is just I'm moving the neck. I'm not using. Oh no, I am actually right here. I'm modifying the previous C frame, and then we're reusing it in that for loop, which causes the somehow it causes this whole thing to like break. You know, doesn't know what I'm doing. Let's see, maybe I could use I here as well. Kind of works. Maybe I don't have to add this. I can just use the. I don't think this is the problem though. I don't think if this is where the problem is coming from. The problem is coming from when I get a new one, you know? Which breaks the whole thing. Let's do a 10 for example. See what happens. That actually did not break anything. What? Why didn't that break it? I don't get it. Okay. Interesting. Uh-oh. Too much. Ooh, interesting. Seems like this one actually works if you do it this way. Well, I guess that's the problem there, you see, because I need to make this thing move a bit faster. And doing so will cause this kind of weird animation, which the neck move first. And it's not even reaching the end. Yeah, we could keep it like that. Fuck it. I just cannot do it. Just annoying. Like that. Just does the same shit, really. Let's just fix it a little bit then. I'm gonna go with 8. She on top of me, on top of her. She on top of me, on top of her. I don't think we can divide a vector. Can you? Vector new 1.5. 3.5. Can you divide it by something? You can now. Wait, I think the reason why it's not working is because you have to call it. Basically, I'm trying to print this. Oh, so you can actually divide it. So here, if I divide it by the number, what will happen? Divided by 2. I mean, divided by I. Oh, damn. What the fuck? Where did that bitch go? Oh, shit. It just disappeared, bruh. Can you do a minus? -2? Okay, you cannot do a -2. But you could do a division, so that's interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to really figure this thing out. It's hard. Fuck, man. Really hard. 1, 2. Okay, my mic is actually on. That's good. That's good. Wait. Ooh, wait. Fuck, man. Seems like we're really left with just this option here. You know, the head is going to look like it's out of the torso. You know, it's going to look like this. I don't want it to be like that, but I think this is really the only way I can fix this stupid rotating thing, you know. Let's see if ChatGPT could help us with this. Maybe it could, maybe it can't. We'll see. We'll see. Start an original imaginative chat. Is there a way? Let's say I have a head. I have a head. Okay. I have. We have to make sure so you know the chat it knows what I'm trying to do. I have a model has a head. creating in Roblox Studio, and I have a model that has a head. I'm trying to make that model. I'm trying to make head rotate to the left side and stay same position. How do I implement that? How do I implement that? Alright, let's see what this Copilot says basically. Hi, this is Copilot. I can help you with your game development or Roblox data to make a model that rotate to the right position. You can use script that changes iframes. So using 90 degrees, iframe times angles, iframe that new. That's not correct. I don't know. I don't think this is really what I needed here. So it's using this is the angle, rad. Then it said set 0 times look at head deposition, camera. Why is it using camera? What the fuck? That's not what I asked for. Let's see what ChatGPT says. Because sometimes the ChatGPT actually is way more accurate than fucking Copilot. I don't know why, it's just way more better with like answers and shit. When to make the head of your model rotate from the side, you can use scripts. So what is it doing now? It's using the same shit really. Iframe times minus. So here it's using -1 instead, which is interesting. I don't think that's gonna work. What if I am using, let's see, I'm using this thing here called set primary par, so I want to see what, it actually gave me the same answer. ChatGPT. Let's see if this is the same thing. So it's using, yeah. Iframe times angle -1. So right here it's actually using -1, which I don't have to put that minus there. I'm just going to delete that. I'm also going to remove this for now. Just going to test it without modifying that. Let's see. Oh, nothing happened. It just moved 1. Why did it do that? Yeah, it just moved 1 time. But I have 15 here, so. Alright, let's go to 90 then. This is the previous one that I had, which was that it will whoa. Oh, okay. I see, it's because the position is not being updated. So we do need that basically for this to work. Yeah, it was staying the same. So you can see here, this is the same shit that I had before. right there. Yeah. What the fuck? This thing is broken. You cannot help me with this as well. So what am I doing wrong? Now here, what I'm doing is just that. So I'm gonna see if that thing that I did is going to change anything really. Mostly we don't really have to change the Y, it's just the... Oh, what the fuck? So 0001. That's a little bit slow, I would say. Why is it moving so slow? Ooh. Interesting. That kind of works a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, this actually looks, way more better. Yeah, like the 001 did work really well. I think we need to decrease it a little bit, and then it will work. It's a bit fast. So 0.5 maybe. Oh, okay, 0.5, and now we need to work on the Y. Uh-oh. Whoa, where are you going? Come back! Come back! Don't leave me, oh my god! Oh, shit. Nope. Let's add one more here. What the fuck? That was not like that before. I think it's because of what I did. Let's remove that. Yeah, like, I don't think I changed anything really. It's the same shit. Like, this was here before. And I had everything the same. So I really did not change anything. It moves to the right now. I think we need to move it a little bit more. Let's go 75. Interesting. It works, I guess. Like they're moving at the same time, you can see. Kind of works. Maybe increase this a little bit higher. Huh. A little bit more. 90. We do need to work on this one as well. Let's be like that, maybe. Ooh, that's too much. Is it all the same? I think so. I think they're both are the same. Kind of works. I think we need to increase this by 100. Yeah. Where is it? Guess what? I'm adding another jump scare.
Oh my god, no.
It's gonna rotate its head.
Ah!
Look. It just does. Boom. Look.
Ah! This makes everything worse, bro.
Yeah.
It makes literally everything worse.
Yeah. Very good. So this one's gonna be.
Like when he's just like.
This is gonna be on this stairs, because you can take like 2 routes. So go here. If you go this stairs, it's gonna come do a ooh. Look at you and then disappear.
Nah, bro.
And then there's one over here as well. Look at that door. Ooh.
Holy, bro.
Yeah, making it scary for the kids, for you, and all the other kids.
The first time I did this first jump scare, that didn't scare me. The second one literally almost made me throw your whole computer to the floor, bro.
Yeah, the one where he pops out and then chases.
Yes.
Rounds at you. Boom.
I
Yeah.
did that.
That's the last one.
I was caught off guard.
So yeah, this is gonna be right here by the staircase, you know. Just looking at the player. I think I tried my best. I tried to like polish it, you know, make it. Hopefully we're not clipping. Let's bring it closer.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
What is this? A ban for 1 day.
You're banned?
I called somebody a dummy
Why did you do that?
because they were making fun of me, and as soon as because they said I was bad and everything, and one thing that they didn't notice is I was better than them. So I called them a dummy, banned me for harassment, and I didn't get any warning either. I never got any kind of warning. Offensive someone.
Yeah, sometimes don't make sense.
Someone.
I guess you can log in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I remember my old account getting banned for one day saying hi.
Oh. So like right here, the user's gonna walk in, and yeah, I think this is where it's gonna really kind of do it. So you're gonna walk in, close, and yeah, it's maybe like right about here when you look up, because if I'm playing the game, you know, not knowing what's going on, I guess I will be looking up there. But if you're playing the game looking down, it's gonna be hard to like jump scare you. You'll just walk through and, you know. I guess when the animation is happening, when the jump scare is happening, we can freeze the player basically, and the player is gonna be forced to look at that, you know, what's happening basically, because I think that's how it should work. That would make sense. So yeah, whenever there is something happening, it's gonna make the player focus on that object instead of looking down or looking up. It will just force the camera to look at that monster, you know. Also when the jump scare is happening as well. I need to work on that. I need to work on the camera thing, which would make the player to like make the player's camera look at the jump scare. So I think that's actually a good position there. So now I need to add the scare detection. Wap. Deep. Whoopity. Alright, let's see. Where is this scare detection? Scare detection. Yeah, scare detection. Scare detection. Okay. That's the 4. This will be the the stair one. The stair one. Whoa. Okay. Where you at, baby? Where you at, baby? Whoa. Interesting. Doesn't matter really. Uh-oh. It's going way too far. It's gotta come down here. So this is the block that actually detects stuff for us. Does like detection. Is this locked? It has to be locked, so I don't mess with it. Yeah, it's locked. Okay, that's it. Alright. So basically this block here is what actually triggers everything, like the animation, the jump scare. This is the block that does that. So yeah, we're just gonna put this like right here. Just to make it small. The fuck is that going through the wall? Gotta make sure it's not in the wall. Yes. There we go. So that will activate that thing for us and scare us, make us piss our pants and all that. You know what I'm saying? He's just gonna be there. It doesn't look like it's looking at the player, so we need to kind of fix that. What the fuck? Wuggy? Yeah, we need to make sure it's actually looking at the player. Gotta bring it closer. Uh-oh. Wait, what the fuck? Yeah. No, for fuck's sake. I can just make it smaller. I think it's because it's too big. The eyes are looking up. Maybe I can make the head tilt down a little bit. Nah, that's gonna fuck it up. That's just not good. Let's actually see how it looks like in the player's perspective. Player's perspective mode. So we walk in. Interesting. Kind of works, I guess. It's alright. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and make this thing work. So now we just need to activate it. Let's see. If this works or not, baby. Baby. Okay. Okay, so we gotta get that mother. It's gonna give us the last one that we need to work on. Right, and then we get head, which is going to be Richard head. There we go. Yeah. It'll make the head rotate, and then it will hide the model. Hey, rodent! Of course, I should also hide it here as well. Oops. Not there, but somewhere here. Right here, right here, right here, right here. And this is where we're going to show the model. Alright. You guys ready for this? I'm gonna do a weight. Maybe 3. We do need to force the player to also be frozen as well. So somehow we're gonna have to figure out a way to do that and focus the camera to the model. Okay, I think, yeah, that should actually make that whole thing work. The jump scare. That's how easy it is to do this, basically. You know. Of course, it took me a while to get all. So if you look at it now, you can see there's nothing there. But if I go close and oh, okay, interesting. Something happened. It's because of this script. This script is not needed anymore. We can go ahead and delete it. It already did the move, the rotation, so yeah, we're gonna have to remove that one. But I'm not sure if you saw that. It came out of nowhere and just standing there. But now it should be good. Something's wrong with the lighting. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Oh, what the fuck? What are you doing, boy? You okay? Oh yes, I know why. Okay, I know why it's doing this. Is because of the recall. It keeps on recalling this thing over and over again, which is not good. I need to fix that, but this forces us to create variables like head, rotate, active. So I think I need to come up with a way in the future to, you know, make this thing only execute once and not all the time. But now the only way I can do this is just by, you know, doing a return statement here. And yeah, that's gonna fix that problem that we had. Alright, here we go. Let's get it. Oh, did you guys see that monster just looking at us? So if I walk close, bam. Oh, yeah, boy. Oh, it's gone. Just disappeared just like that. I think it's a little bit slow. We need this to be really quick. But this really is going so fucking slow. Can I increase this? It's 25, maybe. Oh fuck, that was big. Ooh. Interesting. I think for this to actually work, it shouldn't activate when the user is close to that. It should activate when the user walks in and then looks somewhere there, basically. That's how that should activate. Because then, you know, the animation will work perfectly fine, because it will take a while for the user to get to that position. you know. So yeah, I think it's better if we just move that trigger closer to like somewhere right here, somewhere to where the stair is. So if I walk in through here, and then let's do like that. Yeah. Let's see how that works. Oh, look at that. This is how that skybox should look like. But sometimes it loads in and sometimes it doesn't. Makes it look a bit. Ooh. You can see it now. Look at that. Very cool. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be. Very nice. And you can see one there. It's looking at you. Ooh, there was the other one, just ran away. And the last one is the one up here, which is actually a very big jump scare. You click, and that's actually fucking scary. Damn. I think we need to make this lower a little. Make it bigger. Yeah. Something like that. Maybe add a. For fuck's sake. Little bit of rotation. No, to the other side. No. Oh my god. Why is this thing doing that? So fucking. Yeah, this thing is broken. That's what I needed. Yep, something like that. Let me see. Then push it down, push it a little bit down. There. I think I has to look at this other side. I don't think that really gonna do anything because if we're looking at this object, it's just going to stay. You know. When we're getting close to it, I guess. Interesting. Oh yeah, this is the other thing I have to work on. So I just see if I. Oh, there is actually something here. That's the actually monster. Yeah, I like this way more than the other ones, you know, because of how good it is, how straight it is, you know. You can look anywhere, but if you look at the doll itself, that's when it comes at you. So as you see, nothing's happening right now. Or if I just look up a little, that's a fucking really good jump scare. Okay, that was a good rotation. That was an interesting one. It's just the activation that's the problem. Like we cannot. And so if I enter from in here, the only way this will activate is. I think we should just push it in a little bit closer, maybe there. So that way I'm gonna have to walk in from there and then it will do that. But yeah, like I said, we also do need to work on this head rotating thing. I mean, not head rotating, we already have that. We need to work on the camera focusing, you know, forcing the camera to look at the monster and also freezing the player as well at the same time. while the jump scare is happening. So yeah, so right here, if it's playing this, we can add a viewpoint where it's going to be focusing on this monster here for us. Let's go ahead and add that. Where you at? So this will be like our camera. Just gonna. I'm not sure where is the look. Is the L the look? I think so. So it's looking. What does the L stand for? I think the L is the look. So this is the look side. So we need to rotate it that way. I don't think we really even need this because we can actually force the camera to just focus on a model basically. So we don't really need any parts, to make the camera focus onto it because it would just have that access to that model that jump scare is happening on. So I guess all we have to do now is really just create this camera module that we can use. And it has to happen, it has to be running locally onto the user on the client and not on the server. So that means this script is going to be into the starter player script, and then we'll call it camera module. Alright, let's see how is this gonna work. So basically very simple. We're gonna have a camera which is gonna be game get service workspace that current camera. We're gonna have the player just gonna be ourselves. I don't think we're gonna be using that, but we might. Okay. What else do we need? So let me see. So right here, this is how the detection thing works. Like to detect if the user is is triggering a jump scare or something. This is the behind scene, I guess, the scene behind it and stuff. So let's see, how is it doing it? So it's the camera. No, it's not doing that. So it's using the send and the raycast. I guess this is actually where we need to use that camera module in as well, because something is happening, so we could make the player focus on that from here. So we could use camera, and then we could use force look, which will be raycast the result instance. Well, not really. Instance is the thing that it's triggering the event, which is not what we need. Yeah, this is not going to work. So yeah, the instance is actually not really what we're looking for. It's more like the model that it's triggering, which we really don't have a way to like get the model that it's triggering. The only way we can do it is by using the ID probably. Let's see, the ID points to, I think the ID points to like what we're calling basically. That is the caller. And then this is the module that it's using. So it's also storing the module of that, you know, current jump scare. So it could be any kind of jump scare. You know, I could later on maybe add some other monster, and then it would also work the same way basically, because of, you know, this couple things here that we have, checks that we have. But this part, this trigger ID is the caller, and then we get the module here, which is good. And interesting. We're gonna have to come up with this somehow. We'll get back to this maybe tomorrow on. Maybe. Because gotta really think about this. How are we going to force look? Crazy. What the fuck is going on here?
What if 1,000 Huggy Wuggies tried to stop Mommy Longlegs in Poppy Playtime Chapter 2? Today we are pushing Poppy Playtime to its absolute limits, and we're adding tons and tons of Huggy Wuggies. Each of these Huggy Wuggies act like they're a stuffed toy. They're limp, they can be thrown around, and they just sort of pile up. So we can form piles and piles of Huggy Wuggies and basically form these giant walls. So we're going to be trying to stop Mommy Longlegs with Huggy Wuggies, but also we're going to be trying to stop the train with Huggy Wuggies. And of course, a big thank you to Omega. They created this mod, they worked with me to get this done, and it's really, really awesome. So a big thank you to them. But with that said, let's see what crazy things we can have happen. I hope you enjoy. So the first area we're going to tackle is actually that lever pull room that starts this big chase in Chapter 2. And I wanted to pick this room because Mommy Longlegs is actually hiding on the wall down the cliff beneath the lever. If we look beneath this giant gear, we're going to see Mommy Longlegs just down this cliff. So this cliff isn't actually really a cliff, it's actually a giant box. Now, if you fall down it, you do die, but it does have a bottom, which means we can fill this with Huggy Wuggies. And that's exactly what we're doing. We are spawning so many Huggy Wuggies in this pit, trying to fill it to its brim. It's like the Huggy Wuggies are water, and is slowly rising and overtaking Mommy Longlegs. And we just keep them coming. Now eventually, we do reach a point where this is completely filled. And taking our camera down below, we can see that Mommy Longlegs is kind of overrun. She's completely buried. So now we're gonna throw the lever and see what happens. So we pull the lever, and Mommy Longlegs just tears through the Huggy Wuggies. There were honestly no challenge for her, which is honestly kind of surprising. She actually pushed up a bunch into the hallway and was trampling them as she was running towards me. I take off running because I know she's going to kill me, so I'm going to despawn her using the door trick right over here. And after she's despawned, I'm going to go back and check out the pit of Huggy Wuggies that is still there. So trying to get into the pit was a bit of a challenge, honestly, but I start snaking my way down into this giant horde of Huggy Wuggies, hoping that I can make it down to the darkness. And I was actually having trouble doing so I decided to enable a no clip and fly down below. And you can see this cube is filled to the max with Huggy Wuggies, but touching it, I instantly die. So now we're going to try this again, but in a room that's a bit more interesting. So going through the chase, you eventually come through this area that is a trench, and you fall down below and begins the sewer portion of the chase. But this room has some really interesting characteristics about it. For some reason, spawning a ragdoll like Huggy Wuggy causes them to flop around over and over again. It's kind of funny because they just non-stop bounce, and it's like there's a rave going on down below. So of course, I wanted to fill this section up with Huggy Wuggies, and that's exactly what I did. I basically turned it into a ball pit and then jumped down below because I wanted to see what happened when Mommy Longlegs was tearing through all these moving Huggy Wuggies. So I get about half full, jump down below, and Mommy Longlegs comes out, tramples to the Huggy Wuggies, and then jump scares me. But I want to do better, so we're going to fill this up even more. This time, the Huggy Wuggies bounce up so high that they're getting stuck on the walls up above. I start picking them off the wall and throwing them back down to the pit so we can have the maximum amount of Huggy Wuggies down below. And because there's so many, they kind of stopped hopping around as much because there's no space that isn't occupied by one of our blue fuzzy friends. And so I hop down below and trigger Mommy Longlegs. And honestly, it's really cool. She's like tunneling through this horde of Huggy Wuggies. And if we take the camera inside, we can kind of see her perspective and what she's going through. You can see Mommy Longlegs' face in this giant mass of blue fur. And I don't even know if she can see where she's going. It's quite funny. And as a last ditch effort, I turn on no clip so she can't kill me, but she gets me anyways. So I unfortunately die within this giant cloud of fuzzy Huggy Wuggies. But we can do more, and we certainly are. I'm going to fill up the giant chase hallway to the brim that leads to the grinder with Huggy Wuggies. And honestly, while adding all these Huggy Wuggies, my game starts to chug. My frame rate is certainly dropping because there are so many objects in this room that my computer is starting to have trouble keeping track of them all. And this honestly took 5 to 10 minutes to place all these different Huggy Wuggies. But I made sure it was full, and it looks glorious. In my mind at least, Mommy Longlegs is going to have quite a difficult time making it through this hallway. If everything works out like I'm imagining, Mommy Longlegs is going to cause a tidal wave of some sorts as she pushes through all these Huggy Wuggies. Opening the door and revealing the massive hallway of Huggy Wuggies was kind of cool, but now it's time to make our way to the end and hit that blue switch. And here we go. Shoot our blue hand out, and the chase sequence begins. And at first I don't see anything, but then I see some movement in the background. So I pause the game and freeze time, and take the camera to the end of the hallway. And I can see that the pile is certainly being pushed along the hallway, and I can see Mommy Longlegs forcing her way through the giant blue pile. So we get a side camera view, and then I resume time. And you can see this blue tsunami making its way through this hallway. I try to find Mommy Longlegs' face within this crowd, and she's just completely covered. And she continues plowing through the Huggy Wuggies, making her way to the grinder. And she succeeds. She smashes her way through the Huggy Wuggies and starts automatically killing herself in the grinder as her beta animation plays. Poor Mommy couldn't see what she was running into. So I try my best to make it through this hallway myself, and I keep getting pushed around by so many of the Huggy Wuggies. I'm afraid I'm gonna get pushed out of bounds and die. Somehow I managed to climb on top of all of them and make my way to the grinder door. But navigating this hallway is a nightmare. But honestly, I go down it a couple times because it's just a lot of fun. It's like a giant ball pit of stuffed animals, and it's really hard to make your way through it. But now it's time to move on to something that has a little bit more horsepower than Mommy Longlegs. And so we're heading to the game station and prepping the train to hit some Huggy Wuggies. So first off, I add 3 Huggy Wuggies in front of the train. And each of these Huggy Wuggies are larger in size. We have a big one, a bigger one, and a massive, colossal Huggy Wuggy. I start the train, and as you can see, the first one gets pushed to the side. The second one gets tossed around a bit as it's eventually thrown to the side. But the colossal Huggy Wuggy puts up a good fight. It's so big, it can't be pushed to the side right away. The train pushes it for quite a while until we get to an area where the collision for the train tracks ceases to exist. Because of this, there is now more room, so the Huggy Wuggy gets tossed behind us. If we brighten things up, we can see the giant Huggy Wuggy is stuck between the 2 walls with his leg and his arm, but his torso and his head are out of bounds. But now it's time to tackle the one I'm most excited about, building a massive, massive pile of Huggy Wuggies, thousands of huggy wuggies in front of the train. And so, I begin to spawn them in like crazy. Now, one of the problems I run into is, of course, that my game starts to chug because there are so many huggy wuggies here. Just turning and looking at them causes my game's frame rate to drop like 75%. But now that we have our pile built, it's time to start up the train and hit some huggy wuggies. The train starts moving and I can see my frame rate slowly dropping as we get closer and closer to the huggy wuggies. And once we come around that corner, well, time starts to slow down quite a bit. But here we go, we are hitting the giant pile of huggy wuggies and they are blasted to smithereens. The train is a true powerhouse because it did not struggle at all moving all these toys. If we take the camera back there and freeze time, we can see the aftermath of the train destroying the massive pile of these blue toys. All these huggy wuggies were thrown to the side and they're completely broken. It's quite the sight. But as we resume time, we can see the train moving off into the distance, and like a wave of water, all the huggy wuggies flow back down to the tracks. And then of course, I have to clean up my mess, so I despawn all of them. But I hope you enjoyed all these weird science experiments with Huggy Wuggy. Subscribe now if you did, and I'll see you all soon in my next video. Cheers!
Oh yeah?
Cheers!
Check that out.
6 ways to completely break the Mommy Longlegs chase scene in Poppy Playtime Chapter 2. So the chase scene at the end of Chapter 2 is kinda broken. When the developers made this scene, they made it very linear. And what I mean by that is, basically, they thought the player would only do one thing and one thing only, run away from Mommy Longlegs. And because of that, they didn't really test a whole lot of things, and it's very, very easy to break this chase scene. And the results are actually pretty comical. I hope you enjoy. So these 6 ways to break Mommy Longlegs are going to give you some extra free time since she won't be chasing you. And with that free time, you can be playing Raid Shadow Legends, the sponsor of today's video. Raid Shadow Legends, the RPG for mobile and desktop, lets you organize teams of champions in millions of possible ways to take on giant bosses, dungeons, story mode, and other players in PvP. There's hundreds of room, and all those could be pushed up against dungeons. The RPG champions, Jin Tover, after 4 attack champion, are helpful. Strategize, existing players, just loggers, be sure to hit the links over game. These are what me as a YouTuber to is the one where you pull that final lever, you run through the sewers, you go up the little grapple thing, and then you eventually make it to the grinder. That stretch has 6 different ways you can break this. So let's start with number 1. So the first one is the lever itself. Now, you see people pull this lever halfway down the hallway to get a head start on Mommy Longlegs, but a lot of people are always thinking, I want to get away from Mommy. I want to get as far ahead as possible. And kind of none of that matters in this chase scene because Mommy Longlegs dynamically loads anytime you go through key areas in the chase. So she's constantly unloading and loading behind you, and it's very buggy if you look at her when it happens. But the first time we can break this, we can actually just go behind the lever and pull the lever. And as we're sitting on this gear, we will see Mommy Longlegs crawl out of the darkness, look at us, and then run by us down the bridge. Now the problem with this is we can start to follow her, but we will get jump scared. And not because we got hit by Mommy Longlegs. It's because the developers made a failsafe, so if a certain amount of time passes, or if the player is not in front of Mommy Longlegs, then there is an instant jump scare. But you can totally just break this by having her run past you, and it's really, really funny. But it's actually number 2 on this list, which is actually most interesting. So we're gonna pull the lever, and when we run through this hallway, there is a door that lights up we're supposed to run through. And as soon as we get through this door, it closes behind us. However, this door is actually the loading zone for Mommy and everything that took place before that door. So you can open the door, step halfway through it, and Mommy Longlegs will instantly unload right in front of your eyes, along with the landslide that just occurred. So there was those rocks that just fell, right? Well, you can just be looking at them and they totally just disappear. And what this allows us to do then is exit this room, and we can go all the way back down the original route now. The problem is the final door, which leads to the end of this chase, is sealed by a spider web. However, I would not be surprised if speedrunners figure out a way to warp past this, because there's lots of objects they can grab in the previous room, and all those could be pushed up against this door and potentially push the player through this single barrier, which is this shield of web. So let's go back the other way now. Mommy Longlegs, the one that was chasing us, is unloaded. But if we go back to that bridge where we ran across, we can actually see Mommy Longlegs stretching her hand out from down below, just looking up at us. It's really, really creepy. Normally, we can't sit here and look at this because we will get killed by the other Mommy Longlegs. But basically, there's no rush now. There's nothing that's going to kill us here, so we can linger in here forever. So the third one on this list is kind of like an honorable mention, because I know this concept will work, but I had the timing wrong. So basically the idea is when you run through that door and you jump down below, typically Mommy Longlegs comes out of the sewer grating and starts running towards you as you go into the sewers itself. Now, the idea is this. You take your hands, you grab an object in the hallway before the door, and when the door shuts, it pins your hands against the door. So the object is on the other side of the door, and now you try backing off down below, and if the distance is correct, you should suspend yourself in midair, floating above Mommy Longlegs. And this in turn will trigger her coming out of the sewers and then running into the sewers. And this should make you avoid her. And this is going to lead us to number 4 because both these are in the same room. So number 4, the fourth way to break her is much easier than the method I just described. So all you have to do is fall down below where she comes out and just crouch in the corner. She will run up to you and turn into the sewer and completely bypass you. However, again, like I talked about earlier, there are fail-safes in place and the game checks if a certain amount of time has passed or if you're behind Mommy Longlegs in this area. And so we will get jump scared the second she tries going into the actual sewers. And getting auto jump scared is cheap. I don't know, I don't really like it and it kind of ruins all these. However, this is the end of that because these next two methods have no auto jump scares and they do break it quite a lot. So number 5 actually has us going through the sewer section. Now at the end of the sewers, there's a handle on the ceiling, and you need to grab it and pull yourself up to escape Mommy Longlegs. But the thing is, we can use this same handle to dodge her as well. So all you have to do is ride this up top, then turn around and grab it again. Now within your hand, use back off the cliff in front of you. Your hand will hold onto the handle, and you'll be suspended in midair. Mommy Longlegs will run to the edge and then turn, and then proceed down her normal route. Remember, no matter what you do, she only moves from point A to point B. She actually doesn't care where you're at. It's not really a intelligent chase. It's more like, hey, if you're in her way, you will die. But if you get out of her way, well, she'll just run by. So we can then pull herself up, and now she's gone from this area, and we can go back into the sewers now. There is a hand of Mommy Longlegs right by the sewer entrance. Now, this hand doesn't hurt us. We can actually jump at it and kind of mess with it, and it keeps flopping around every time we touch it, so that's kind of funny. But if we go back to the other two hands, we'll see that they are unloaded, and behind them is just a black void. Now, neither of these areas we can go down. Both of these sewers that used to have hands actually have invisible barriers that prevent us from going down it. So even though there's nothing stopping us, we can't move forward. However, there's no threat now, and we can kind of just chill here as long as we want. But all of this leads us to number 6. And number 6 is incredibly broken. So the final one takes place in the final section of this chase, right before we defeat Mommy Longlegs. And this one is so dumb. All you have to do is go down the hallway, trigger the blue hand switch, and when you touch that switch, Mommy Longlegs is going to come out of the tunnel in the back and start running towards you. And so all you do is run towards her, and the way they made this hallway is normally you're not supposed to be able to get around her. However, they made a mistake because they added doorways that you can't go down. And these doorways give enough floor space to literally just stand there and Mommy Longlegs will run right by you. It's really, really funny, and it also goes to show that Mommy Longlegs as a character is designed to pace out the player. Because as we stand here, she just slows down. She slows to a crawl, walks past us, and then takes off through the metal door, mind you. The door's not open, she just runs straight through it. And then she kills herself. She runs straight to the grinder and kills herself. Now, you've seen in another video that there are 2 Mommy Longlegs in this section, and this first one dies using the old animation. And as we peek into the room, we can see she's dying that way. But now there's no threat. There's no one coming after us. So we can enter this room and slowly start moving to the left, and as we do, another Mommy Longlegs is gonna spawn. Heck, if we wanted to, we could actually trigger the grinder from outside the room. We could hit the switch from outside the room and start it so that when we go back to this position where we're slowly moving to the left, as soon as we touch it, Mommy Longlegs will die. She comes rushing in, and she actually pushed me into the machine, and I got stuck and I couldn't do anything. But it's kind of crazy that these two things can be broken this bad. The fact that Mommy Longlegs can simply be sidestepped in the final moment of the chase is just incredible. But I hope you enjoyed the 6 different ways that you can break the Mommy Longlegs chase scene in Poppy Playtime Chapter 2. Subscribe right now if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 content. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers!
Ooh, what is this?
Madam Web is a movie a lot of people wrote off pretty quickly. The trailers are abominable. Let's not, beat around the bush here. And the press tour that Dakota Johnson went on, who was the lead for this film, was a real head scratcher because she just opened.
I thought it was a website, but it's actually a movie? Holy shit. Ooh, let me check this out.
Hey there, let's talk about one of the coolest features in Roblox Studio that you're probably not using, and that's going to be the volumetric audio property in the sound service. Now, I won't blame you if you're not using volumetric audio or you don't know what this is, and that's because there is literally nothing in the Roblox documentation about this property. Seriously, if we go to the Roblox documentation and we find the sound service, let's open that up, and we go down to volumetric audio, there is no description here. There's nothing to talk about what this property is. And even the enum that it takes, which is a volumetric audio enum, there is no summary, there's no description about what any of these values do. Now, the only information you're going to find about volumetric audio is on an older dev forum post by a Roblox developer. It's this dev forum post in particular called Volumetric Sounds Public Release, and it was posted on July in 2022, and it says, "Hey developers, after receiving some great feedback on the Volumetric Sounds developer beta, we are ready to move this out of beta and into production. So what is volumetric sounds?" And they say, "Have you ever wanted to add sound to a large object like a waterfall or ambient sounds to a big environment like a city? With volumetric sounds, when you child a sound to a part, the roll-off minimum distance and roll-off maximum distance will now be measured from the surface of the part. When you're inside the part will play all around the player just like music in headphones. Today we will be adding a property to the sound service called volumetric audio. It has the 3 enums of disabled, automatic, and enabled. The property's default value will be automatic, and currently the automatic just refers to disabled. So all Roblox games by default have volumetric audio disabled." And he continues, he says, "When enabled, sounds which are children of ball, box, and cylinder parts will emit from every single point on the part surface." And they have a little time rollout plan right here. And it says the available now, which was when this was posted, enabled is volumetric audio supported on block, cylinder, and ball parts. Automatic is same as disabled, blah, blah, blah. And then in 2023, this was planned. It says that automatic was supposed to default to support block, cylinder, and ball parts. Now, for some reason, they never did this. We're out of 2023 as the recording of this video, which is in January 2024. They have not updated the default of automatic to support volumetric audio. It's still disabled. I don't know why, but they haven't done this yet, and there hasn't been any comments about volumetric audios since this forum post was released. So let's actually go ahead and take a look at volumetric audio and some of the use cases for volumetric audio. For example, volumetric audio can be extremely useful.
I'm gonna be right back. see what we missing out.
Useful for creating large areas you want sounds to emanate from. Let's say you had an ocean in your game, and let's imagine this blue part right here. This is my ocean, and I want this ocean to emit an ambiance sound from the entirety of this part, from all the surface of the part. Now, with volumetric audio disabled, this is not going to work. I have a sound instance in here, but since we have volumetric audio disabled, that means the sound is only going to emanate from the center of the part, which is very lame. So with volumetric audio on automatic, if we go and playtest the game, and let's go and walk over to my ocean part, as you can see, you can't hear anything, and if I keep walking, oh, there we go, now we hear something, but it's emanating directly from the center of the part, and it sounds very weird. I want it to sound like we're in an ocean, and the ocean should be playing all around my headphones, but as you can see, it's only in one direction. It's towards the center of this part, and that kind of sucks. Now this is where volumetric audio can come into play. If we go and enable this property, what's going to happen now is this sound is going to be emanating from the entirety of this part, so all the surfaces. And he said that the roll-off minimum distance and the max distance is going to be calculated from the surfaces of the part rather than the point in the middle of the part. And that means if I were standing right here, it's going to calculate the roll-off distance as if the point was over here on the surface of this face. So if we go and playtest the game, look at that, we can already hear the ocean. And for some reason I don't have a character model. That's very... oh. Well, that was very weird, okay. But as you can see, oh, that's pretty cool. You can hear the ocean on my left side, and then when I rotate my camera, now you can hear it on the right side. And no matter where I go, it's going to be emanating from all around the surface of this part. So no longer is it emanating from the center of the part, but it's coming from the surface. And that means if I go and walk over my part, now it sounds like the ocean is all around me, which is very cool. It's no longer coming from that stupid little center point inside of my part. And that also means if I went and climbed up this truss ladder, it's going to sound like I'm getting further and further away from the ocean that is below me. So if I keep going up, it's getting quieter and quieter. And now it's very quiet, so it sounds like we're high above the waters of the ocean. That's very cool. Oh man, I can't describe to you how it sounds in headphones. It sounds really good. It's much better than having volumetric audio disabled. Now we can also use volumetric audio to create different regions in our game that can play different ambiances, and players will only be able to hear that ambiance once their camera is inside of that particular region. So for example, with this part right here, I have a sound inside of it, and currently the roll-off.
Which AI scripting tool is the best for Roblox development? I'm going to be pitting ChatGPT against the Find AI and against the Roblox scripting assistant to figure out which one is the best for you. I have a total of 5 scripting challenges to give to each AI. The first challenge will be very simple, and the next will be more difficult, and the next will be the most difficult. The last 2 challenges will gauge how well the AI can solve problems in code. I will be given a very simple code example that has an easy error to fix, and then the last challenge will have a slightly more difficult error to fix. If an AI successfully finishes the challenge on their first try, they'll get 5 points. Each AI has an additional chance to fix any problems in the code they generate if it doesn't work the first try. If the AI fixes the code and it works on the second try, then it'll get 4 points. If the AI is unable to generate any working code for the challenge, that AI gets 0 points. If the code the AI generates produces a result that is not what we want or what we would expect, then it will get 1 point, and I will also dock any additional points based on the number of deprecated features the AI uses in its code. So if the code the AI gives me works, but it's filled to the brim with deprecated features, the AI will only get 1 point, which is the minimum. So I'll be subtracting 1 point for every single deprecated feature the AI uses. Our first contender is ChatGPT, and our first challenge is this. Please write a Roblox Lulu script that makes a part kill a player when the player touches it. The part should turn red when touched to signify danger to other players. So let's see what ChatGPT generates for us. Okay, let's go ahead and copy this code and see if ChatGPT successfully generated the correct code. So I'll create a new script inside of my hurt part, and let's go ahead and paste in ChatGPT's code. Let's go ahead and touch our part and see if it kills us. And there we go, the part kills us, and the part also turned red to notify other players that this is a dangerous part that shouldn't be touched. 5 points to ChatGPT. Our next contestant is going to be the Find AI, so let's ask it the exact same question and see what it generates. Alright, it generated our code, let's go ahead.
I haven't heard of this AI before. Find? Huh. With a P and edge. That's interesting. Is it free as well?
Head and copy that code. Let's head back to Studio. And back inside of our script, let's go ahead and replace ChatGPT's code with Find AI's code. So we'll paste that in there, and let's go ahead and see what happens. Let's go and touch our part, and perfect. The part kills us, and it turns red. So another 5 points goes to Find AI. Next up is the assistant, so let's go ahead and tell it to do the exact same thing. But since I have this part collected, I'm going to reword it slightly to tell the assistant to generate a script directly inside of this part. So I've told the assistant to please write a script that makes the selected part kill a player when the player touches it. The part should turn red when touched to signify danger to other players. So let's go ahead and see what it generates. Alright, it created kill player script. Here's a script that makes the selected part kill a player when touched and turns red to signify danger. And it looks like assistant generated a script inside of it. So let's see how well it did, and let's go ahead and test this out. If we touch our part, let's see what happens. Perfect, it kills us, and the part turned red as well. Another 5 points goes to the Roblox assistant. Back to ChatGPT, our next challenge is this. Please write a Roblox Lua script that transforms its parent part into a moving platform. The platform should move horizontally back and forth 5 studs every 5 seconds. So let's go ahead and see what ChatGPT generates. Alright, let's go ahead and copy this code. And let's add a script into my platform part. Let's go ahead and paste the code inside of there. And let's go ahead and see what happens. And unfortunately, as we run the game, we ran into an error. Tween position is not a valid member of part. So let's go ahead and see what ChatGPT messed up on. I'm not sure why ChatGPT decided to do that. It's using the tween position function, which isn't a function that exists with a part. It should be using the tween service and not this random function that it pulled out of its butt. So let's go ahead and tell ChatGPT to fix this problem, and let's see if it can generate us some working code. So I'll tell ChatGPT, I'm sorry ChatGPT, but the code you provided does not work, and I am given the error, and then let's go ahead and paste our error in there. I apologize for the confusion. It seems I used an outdated method for tweening the position of the part. What do you mean outdated? It was never a method in the first place. Here's an updated script using the tween service module. Okay, let's go ahead and see if, well, ChatGPT got this correct. Let's go ahead and copy that code, and let's try it again. Back in Studio, let's go ahead and replace this code, and then we'll go and run our game. Oh, look at that! Our platform is moving back and forth horizontally. I believe, yeah, that looks like 5 studs. And each time it's moving back and forth for 5 seconds. Very, very cool. Now, unfortunately, it does appear that ChatGPT is using the deprecated wait function because technically the task library is superior to the older functions like delay and spawn. Instead, you should be using the task library for the delay function, the spawn function, or the wait function. So unfortunately, because ChatGPT is using the older wait function, I'm going to have to subtract it by 1 point. So ChatGPT loses 1 point because the first code did not generate successfully, and another point because ChatGPT used an older function. So 3 points to ChatGPT. Okay, back to Find AI. Let's go ahead and ask it the exact same question, and let's see what code it generates.
See if it gets it first.
Very interesting. Find AI went with a different approach, and instead is using the run service instead of the tween service to move our part. Very interesting. So let's go ahead and copy this code and see how well it did. Let's get rid of ChatGPT's old code and paste in the new code, and let's go ahead and run the game and see what happens.
Oh, what the fuck?
And our part has flown away off into the distance, and my console's being spammed with a whole bunch of errors. Okay, that is a problem. Initial position is not a valid member of part workspace.platform part. This is not looking good for these AI. They can't even make a simple platform to move back and forth. Oh my goodness. Sorry, but the code you gave me above does not work correctly. I am receiving an error in the console. Boom. And let's go ahead and see if it fixes it. Apologies for the confusion. The error indicates that the initial position is not a built-in property of a part object. Instead, we should define our own variable to store the initial position of the part. Here is the corrected script. Okay, let's go ahead and see if this works. Let's copy this. Let's get rid of the old code and place in the new code. And let's go ahead and see if it works. All right. Well, it is moving, but it is moving extraordinarily slowly. This is not the movement of 5 seconds that I wanted. Oh, and it is jittering all over the place. Oh, and it's not even moving correctly anymore. Sorry, Find AI. It looks like you're only getting 1 point. Let's go ahead and see if the Roblox assistant can do better than ChatGPT or Find. So let's go ahead and ask it. Please write a script that transforms the selected part into a moving platform. Let's go ahead and see what the assistant generates. All right, perfect. It has attached the script, moving platform script. So let's go ahead and see how well it did.
It's using a while though.
And, well,
What the fuck?
I mean, technically it's a platform that is moving back and forth, but it's not exactly what we would expect. We would expect a nice, slow-moving platform back and forth. Perhaps I was a little bit too vague, so let's go ahead and give the assistant one more chance. Let's ask it to instead smoothly move the part back and forth using either the tween service, the run service, whatever it generates. So let's go ahead and fix that. All right, I told the assistant the part does move back and forth 5 studs, but could you instead have it move smoothly back and forth 5 studs every 5 seconds instead of teleporting the part? So let's go ahead and see what it generates. Okay, the assistant gave me the updated code. You can use the tween service to smoothly move the part back and forth. Here's an example script to achieve that. So let's go ahead and copy that. Let's go back to our original script, get rid of that old code, and place in the new code. And let's go ahead and see what happens. So we'll run the game.
Ooh.
Okay, our part moves.
Hey, what's that?
Awesome. And it moves back to the other position. Very cool. And, well, seems like it's working. So, nice job to the assistant. I will only dock the assistant 1 point. Just got to make sure that there's no other deprecated features being used. And it doesn't look like it. So, great job to the Roblox assistant. Roblox assistant gets 4
Are
points.
you using any weight position? Any weight time? I don't think so. It's only used in, like, loops and that. But yeah, this one, is that minus?
Back to
Wait, that's actually minus, it seems like. It's using -1. What does that do? I don't even know what the fuck that actually does. I think that's like setting 0, I think. So 5 is the delay, right? Then once it's done, completed position. Reset the position of the platform after reaching the end. Calls the function again to create a continuous back. So once it's done, wouldn't that like set the thing back to the previous position? The end position is position plus. 5. It's really interesting. It seems like this does a teleportation here, but not really. Maybe not. I don't know, because here it's using like the previous position, right? Meaning at the start, basically, before it moved forward. And then once it completed the move, it seems like it teleports. It seems like it should teleport back to the start, but it doesn't. Maybe it's because of the minus here that we have. I think this minus makes it so it plays it in reverse order instead. Reaching the end position. Reset the position of the platform. Yeah, really
Job to the Roblox assistant. Roblox assistant gets
interesting. I really thought this would like just reach the end and then does that and then it calls the move platform. But it's actually
4 points. Doesn't look, just gotta make sure. To the assistant, I will only dock the assistant 1 point. Just gotta make sure that there's no other deprecated features being used. And it doesn't look like it. So, great job to the Roblox assistant. Roblox assistant gets 4 points. Back to ChatGPT, this is going to be the most difficult scripting challenge. I said, please write a Roblox Lulu script that allows the player to fly when they press E on their keyboard. If the player presses E again, make sure to stop flying. So let's go ahead and see what ChatGPT generates. Let's go ahead and copy this code and see if it works. I will create a new script inside of starter character scripts. And let's go ahead and paste this code inside of there. And let's go ahead and play test the game. If I press E on my keyboard, well, nothing happens because all the AI did was just change a property in the humanoid IP.
Because there's a lot of things that you have to do to like make this flying thing work, you know. You have to be able to control the player with your mouse, right? When you're looking at the camera and turn that player in that direction. You have to know when the player is not pressing E. So there's like a lot of callbacks that you have to work with. So
I believe, and I'm not able to fly around. If I press E again, yeah, this is not what we would expect at all. We're not even flying. We're just flopping to the ground. This is not what we want. So let's go ahead and go back to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT to fix this problem. All right, I said, sorry, but the code you gave me does not allow my player to fly. Instead, my player falls to the ground and I am unable to move. Please fix this. Let's go ahead and see what ChatGPT does. I already know that this code is not going to work, but let's just copy it anyways. We'll replace the old code, put in the new code, and well, anyways, we'll replace the old code, put it.
So it says input code in key code equal then toggle fly. Toggle fly does flying equal not flying. If flying, then humanoid platform equal true. So humanoid is sit. What the fuck? Why is it sitting the player down? That makes no sense.
In the new code, and well, I already know it's not gonna work. But let's go ahead and see what happens anyway. So if I press E, the exact same thing happens. Great job, ChatGPT. Great job. So while ChatGPT did generate code that works, because the code does not produce the results we expect, ChatGPT only gets 1 point for this round.
Ooh.
Maybe Find AI can do better. So let's go ahead and ask it the same question. And
interesting.
Find is doing the exact same thing that ChatGPT is doing. It's literally just changing the platform stand.
Yeah, they're just setting that shit. Start flying by making the stand platform to false? How does that even make sense?
Property for our player. So, I mean, I'm going to copy the code, but I know it's not going to work.
That's crazy.
So let's just paste the code in there, and let's go ahead and see what happens. We'll hit play. And let's go ahead and hit E. And of course, we just fall to the ground. It is not producing the result we'd expect.
Wow.
So I'm going to tell Find AI, sorry, but the code you gave me does not make my player fly. Instead, my player just falls over and I cannot move. Please fix this. And it literally just gave me the exact same code. It didn't do anything. And actually, what's the point of this fly speed variable? It's not even used anywhere in the code. So unfortunately, while the code does work, Find AI did the exact same thing as ChatGPT, so Find AI only gets 1 point. Okay, maybe Roblox Scripting Assistant can save the day. So I'm going to tell it to generate the exact same thing. Let's go ahead and see what code it gives to us. Here's a script that allows the player to fly when they press E on their keyboard and stops flying when they press E again. Let's copy that
Well,
and
it's
let's
not using the
paste it
platform, so
inside
that's
of our
interesting.
local script.
What the fuck?
And wow, this code literally does nothing.
It does not.
Add code to start flying here. Assistant, you were supposed to do that for me. I'll tell the assistant, can you please generate the code for allowing the player to fly? I'm not sure how to do that. Let's go ahead and see what code it generates. Okay, it looks like it generated the exact same code by setting platform stand to true and making the humanoid sit. Let's go ahead and play test the game.
They both did the
And
same
if I press
shit.
E on my keyboard,
Nothing.
nothing's going to happen
Oh.
because the assistant, for some reason, decided to set the fly key to the space key. Even though I told the Roblox scripting assistant I wanted it to be the E key.
Oh my god.
But if we press the space bar, nothing is happening.
Oh damn.
And even if I spam spacebar, I'm not flying, it's just messing around with my humanoid. So it looks like the scripting assistant also gets only 1 point.
That's crazy.
Well, it seems like these
They both
AI
did the
aren't
same
that good at
shit.
generating code, but let's see if they're good at solving problems in code, because that could be very useful. So let's go ahead and give them their first code example, and this first code example is going to be really easy. If the AI can't solve this problem, then I have no hope in these AI at all. So all I'm going to tell ChatGPT is, hi, can you please fix this Lua code below? It is giving me an error. I'm going to be as vague as possible and see if ChatGPT can fix it. This should be a very simple fix, because it should know that you can't divide by 0. So let's see what happens. Okay, it says, certainly, the error you're encountering is likely due to dividing by 0, which is not allowed in mathematics. To fix this, you can add a check to ensure that the number is not 0 before performing the division. Here's the fixed code. So let's go ahead and copy this code, and then let's paste it and run it in the command line and see if we get the correct result. There we go. Error, cannot divide by 0.
Wow.
So great job to ChatGPT. ChatGPT gets 5 points.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and see what Find AI generates. We're going to ask it the exact same.
Actually, it's the same. Gonna be the same response, really. It seems like all these models are actually maybe practicing on the same data, really. You know.
Question. All right, let's copy this code and see if it works.
Yeah. Look at that.
We'll paste it inside of the.
Same response. Nothing changed really. Like the text also, the
Alright,
code looks the same as well. You can say it's using that, and it's not using the key not. You could also do that as well in Roblox. So if they were different, it would have generated a different response than the same thing from ChatGPT. It's also printing the same text back to the console. So yeah, they're probably using the same model, I think, somehow.
Let's copy this code and see if it works. We'll paste it inside of the command line and hit enter. And there we go. Cannot divide by 0. So great job to Find AI. Find AI gets 5 points. Now with the Roblox assistant, I have my erroring code inside of a script. So I'm going to highlight this code, and then I'm going to ask the assistant to fix the highlighted code. So I'm telling it, can you please help me fix this highlighted code? It is giving me an error. Okay, that's a very strange answer. Let's go ahead and try it again. All right, sorry about that. My internet is now back, so let's go ahead and ask it the same question. Let's see if it can generate. Surely I will do that. Ooh, it's giving me a nice explanation here. All right, all right. Let's go ahead and see the corrected code, please. Okay.
Same output. Look at that.
Let's go ahead and copy this code. Let's paste it inside of the console or the command line, and let's hit enter. There we go. Cannot divide by 0. So great job to the Roblox scripting assistant. 5 points.
Ooh, ChatGPT.
All right, the competition all comes down to this. This last piece of code I'm going to give to the AI is a function that calculates the average of a set of numbers. Now the issue here is that the code does work, but it's giving me an output that I do not expect, and that's because for some reason right here, I am adding the current index to the sum instead of the number that is inside of my numbers table. So let's go ahead and see if the AI can fix this and figure out our logical error. Okay, once more, I'm going to be as...
Right, let me see. So you're adding some. Then dividing some by numbers. That's interesting. Then returning average.
Vague my numbers to the sum because for some reason right here, I am adding the current index to the sum instead of the number that is inside of my numbers table. So let's go ahead and see if the AI can fix this and figure out our logical error. Okay, once more.
Because it's adding the number, the iteration index.
I'm going to be as vague as possible. I'm saying, hi, the Lua code below is giving me a logical error. Can you fix this? So let's go ahead and see what ChatGPT generates. Well, looks like ChatGPT picked on it pretty quickly. So let's copy this code and see if it works. Let's paste the code into the command line and we'll hit enter. And there we go.
30.
The average is 30. 5 points goes to ChatGPT. Let's go ahead and ask the exact same thing to the find AI. The logical error in your Lua code is that you are adding the loop counter I to the sum instead of the elements in the numbers array. So it looks like it fixed it. Let's go ahead and copy this and let's see what the average is. We run the code in the command line and the average is 30. Great job to the find AI, 5 points. We're going to be asking the assistant, hi, the highlighted code is giving me a logical error. Can you fix this? And I've pasted the code inside of this local script. Let's go ahead and hit enter. Giving me a code explanation, which is not really what I care about right now. I just want the code to be fixed. Okay, here is the corrected code. So let's go ahead and copy it. And then let's go ahead and paste it inside of the console. And let's run the code. And there we go. The average is 30. So the assistant did good as well. 5 points goes to the...
Yeah, ma? tenta ka na hita ikuru libe barili. Hita. Whoopee. Whoopee. Okay, I'm back. Anyway.
The Roblox assistant. All right, and our totals are 19 points for ChatGPT, 17 points for the Find AI, and 20 points to the Roblox assistant. What's the conclusion? Well, the conclusion is that these AI aren't that good at coding. If you want them to perform simple tasks, they can do that just fine.
They can do a simple task only, not, something. Something more than that, But you can get around it, you see. You can ask questions about I'm gonna get you. Oh. Oh yes, I heard about this guy.
What's up, guys? Omni. You guys know how it goes. Another day, another video. Last night I tweeted I let you go. And breaking, guys, I have some terrible news to let you guys all know. This I was in the middle of editing this video for you guys when this dropped, and this is not going to match the rest of the tone of the video, okay? So this is something that I'm putting in. I don't know if I'm putting it where I'm putting it. It's not going to match the tone, so just know that this is kind of like a different timeline thing. But TMZ, literally less than 15 minutes ago, I just discovered and found this out, and I knew that I had to talk about it because I knew that you guys would be asking me about it and wanting to know the details. They reported and said that YouTuber 2Matt is dead. Matt, 23, investigated as possible overdose. We have talked about 2Matt several times on this channel for several reasons. Some good, some weird, some bad. He's a YouTuber, Belle Delphine, all of that. And this one kind of just hit me like a truck because it's one of those deaths that literally impacted in the entire YouTube sphere. It feels like we kind of all knew him in a way, and it's hitting very close to home. Those of you guys who don't know, this is 2Matt, okay? He's most infamously known for the dude. During the pandemic, he was going on through the school calls and just running amok and being a mayhem, like a jokester and a prankster. He also used to do Overwatch content as well with memes. And then he caught himself into some controversy that happened recently that I can't recall. But yeah, he was an entertainer on the YouTuber space. And he was going through an episode, what seems like on Twitter, where he was just posting nonstop, just tweeting every single day. That people were calling maybe a manic episode or something to that extent. Don't know the details between that, but he's gone, and TMZ is reporting that this is from an OD. X said a popular YouTuber who goes by 2Matt Online has died. TMZ has learned. Law enforcement sources tell us that internet personality who has millions of followers across various YouTube channels and social pages was found unresponsive Tuesday night in his LA home. This is after somebody called in to ask for a welfare check. We're told that 2Matt hadn't been heard from in several days by concerned parties, and he even missed some appointments, and as a result, the LAPD was sent to check in on him, and that's when they found his body, although it's unclear how long he had been in that state. Our sources say that there was drug paraphernalia found on the scene, and at this point, we're told that this is being investigated as a possible overdose. No foul play is suspected in the death. 2Matt had caused concern among his fan base in recent weeks, including some strange one-off tweets he was posting last week, not to mention a bunch of photos of firearms. The guy was an interesting character. In addition to skits, gaming commentary, and live streams, he was just very into internet culture and had a massive fan base. Like we said, millions of followers, but his videos would also get a significant number of views as well. They posting this goddamn picture between him and Belle Delphine, that this cursed photo shoot between these two. One meme in particular that he's accredited with is the one called "Good Night Girl, I'll see you tomorrow." It's features of a shirtless 2Matt walking up to a camera and telling some imaginary chick that he'll see her tomorrow, only to slip and fall in cartoonish fashion. He also made a splash by once collaborating with OnlyFans model Belle Delphine. 2Matt was embroiled in controversy as of late. He seems to have been off the radar in recent months when it comes to his content creation. His last video across all three of his channels were 5 months ago, and he certainly seemed to be in good spirits in it. He was only 23 years old. Rest in peace. Fuck, man. God damn it, bro. Guys, I feel like this one is I don't know if you guys, maybe some of you guys don't know 2Matt or have not been familiar with his antics over the past years, but he's been pretty relevant. within the community for quite some time in a very impactful way. Kid was only 23. And I know that he had some recent situations that came about that kind of, put him into it felt like a downward spiral, but so young, dude had his entire goddamn future ahead of him. And this is just absolutely sad news to hear. It doesn't feel real. When I saw the article, I was like, who's memeing now? Why are people are memeing about the deaths all the time? But someone said that some guy named Charles Ing was dead. I was like, okay, here we go again with Twitter making lies and fake misinformation. And then slowly my stomach started to drop when I checked his Twitter account. I saw he hadn't posted in 5 days, and he always posts on Twitter nonstop all the time. He is always interacting online, and that's the part where my stomach started sinking and me starting to realize that this is not a fake account. This is something that is real. Too Mad is gone. In case you guys are wondering if this is real or not, someone has already checked the County of Los Angeles, the medical examiner. Mudia, that's his name. It says here that he was born December 17th, 2000, and he died February 13th, 2024. So,
What?
Mom's calling. Oh, no, man.
this is not a hoax. This is a real thing. Oh, damn. It's, I don't even know what to say. It's, this is one of these situations that just, kind of, knocks the wind out of your lungs and leaves you speechless. This guy was very, intertwined with internet culture, the things that you guys watch here and some of the peers and everything. He was there, and he was young, and I know he went through some stuff with somebody recently. I can't recall the exact details, but dang, man, we don't know if this was an accident. We don't know if it was done on purpose. This is still kind of all new and breaking. And breaking yet again, literally was just about to just, step away from this to add it to today's video, where someone had showed me this. A person by the name of James Ski, who said, I can finally say it, Too Mad was a rapist and a pedophile. Over the past few years, he tried to murder me multiple times for helping the police and detectives in multiple states to investigate a lot of horrible things he's done. He wanted to take out multiple innocent lives by getting behind the wheel and going head on a freeway while being high on illegal drugs. He didn't succeed once, as he overdosed before killing anybody, so he tried it again. What? Despite him trying to murder me and multiple innocent lives, I've been trying to help law enforcement to make sure he's safe, doesn't get hurt, and doesn't harm anybody. Please remember that he is a rapist and a pedophile. He continued to prey on vulnerable even after the police got involved, including a 13-year-old in a mental hospital. The tragedy doesn't excuse any of his actions. I will address a lot of stuff when I fully collect my thoughts. Past few months have been a total mess, and the reason why I ended up in the ER. Please give me time. Oh my, no. What in the world is going on, bro? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? This is too much. This is way too much information in a short period of time. I literally just learned less than 15 minutes ago that dude passed, and literally like 5 minutes ago now I'm learning that he tried to kill a person, and he was... What the... I feel a bit speechless. From one shocking revelation to another potentially shocking revelation, I'm not exactly sure how to absorb it. This is just the information that's coming out as we're talking here on the channel. And I think the only thing I'm going to let you guys know, because otherwise I'll just be sitting here speechless all day, is I will keep you guys posted on what is being reported. I will look into it and check it out myself and figure out what are the facts, what's real, what's happening, and if there's any updates that are happening here. But it's a breaking story. It's a sad one, and it seems like it gets a little bit twisted. Jesus Christ. I was not expecting something like this today at all. I literally feel like I got hit by a truck. I'm not even sure how to process this, okay? But this is a segment that's going to be within the video. It might feel a little bit off because prior me was in a much better mode, okay? So just take that in consideration while you guys are watching the full thing, all right? Let's get a few small, quick, but very important things that you guys need to know, like out of the way, out of the gate, okay? Things that you definitely need to know, especially this one. Wolf Phoenix said, major Xbox podcast premiering this Thursday. Today is Wednesday, so that is tomorrow. Guys, we might be getting revolutionary type information tomorrow when it comes to this official Xbox podcast, okay? It's going to be February 15th. Again, that is tomorrow, 12 p.m. PT, 3 p.m. Eastern, okay? It says, please join us for a special edition of the official Xbox podcast. Hear from Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, and Matt Booty as they share updates on the Xbox business. Guys, people believe that this podcast, this announcement or whatever, might be the most revolutionary gaming news we've heard in a long time, because people believe that Xbox may be moving to becoming a third-party developer instead of actually creating consoles like its competitors Nintendo and Sony for the PlayStation and the Switch. It's very reminiscent of, you guys can imagine, as Sega. When Sega used to make their games, Sega Genesis, Sega Dreamcast, and Sega Saturn and all of those, and then they went third party and they decided to create games for the systems that existed. We could see Xbox games slowly start to appear on the Switch and on Sony. So that's what the rumors are right now, and people are wanting to know, is it a confirm or is it deny? Is Xbox leaving the gaming console war forever and they going third party? If so, what are the implications? What are the implications on the stocks? What are the implications on the gamers? Everybody wants to know, and when we find out, 1000%, I'll have a video, guys, for you on Friday. We'll be talking about it. In terms of updates from the last video that we talked about, we need to talk about Vosh. That's right, the horseman himself, the Animorph man himself. Okay, we're not going to go into any nasty stuff today. All you guys really need to know is that when I was talking about the situation with this YouTuber named Vosh, okay, he was basically under fire because he got caught in 4K by himself, alt tabbing, and they showed his porn folder basically, and it was porn of him. Basically, he was like, yeah, I have a fetish of being a horse. But also, there was some lolly, well, I thought it was lowly, some lolly. There was basically some also stuff as well where there's underage looking type characters that he thought was a goblin. Long story short, him and H3 and community people and everybody have been going back and forth, having this just weird debate about whether or not it was good or bad. People have been pulling out receipts left and right on it, and we talked about it. I made sure to provide both sides, and when I meant both sides, like Bosch's statements where he has made multiple times that he doesn't actually support what people are implying is that he has CP, but also, yeah, there's other side who are saying like, yeah, what you did was kind of disgusting as well. Vosh has decided to say, hey, all right, fine, I'm making a response video. It's going to be a big one though, so it'll take a little while. Whether or not it's engaged within good faith, I want my audience at least to have everything laid out clearly and truthfully. I don't understand it. I have nothing against Vosh. I actually got a couple of emails and people who were on to defend Vosh, and a lot of you guys were like, hey, Omni, thanks for providing like the other side of the context and Vosh's response that he's not really into this stuff, right? But at the end of the day, right, I don't feel like this requires some kind of super long video, right? There's no, all right, just come out here and say what you are and what you're not, and be like, if there was a misunderstanding, and then just cut it. All right, because nobody wants to watch a 50-minute video, a 30-minute video, a 20-minute video of someone trying to either justify something that nobody wants to see justified. Just just put that information out there and say, I'm not, and I am this, and I'm not that, and let's just move on, okay? Let's get on to the next news source. That's my suggestion for you, Vosh, if you are watching this video, or for you Vosh fans, okay? Let's not make this any more attention than it already is, because I feel like if it does, then people are just going to keep digging, and I don't know, bro. I think it's just only going to go south from here. Just a quick update, because a lot of you guys always be asking me, hey, Omni, what are you watching? What are you doing? What's your favorite anime and everything? Right now, I am watching Solo Leveling, and I'm watching Free Rent. Those are the two animes that I'm currently on, but Solo Leveling is my weekly episode. Oh my god, episode 6 was so goated. I didn't read it. This is based off a manhwa, not a manga, but a manhwa, something. I think it's what's called.
Okay, I'm getting distracted. I need to focus on this. Okay, so it's currently 10 o'clock. This part is a little bit hard because we want this to run locally, and we also want to be able to control the current camera. I don't know what happens if you... I could have made this thing work with a different kind, with like the server script instead of the client. But the reason why I don't want to do the server is because I think what happens is that when I do the server script, when I do change the camera with the server script, it's probably one, not gonna work, and two, it might force all the users to focus on that object that are in the game. I think that is what is going to happen. But let's give it let's give it a go. We can try that first and see how it works. So let's go back to the huggy wuggy, right? So this is where we could do that, and we can get the current camera. Hopefully we could actually get it from here as well. So camera and get service, workspace, being used by the logo player. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it from here, but we'll see. So we get that camera, and then what we can do here is we already have what we're doing, so we could do camera type enum.camera type dot scriptable camera type dot camera subject equal head rotate, and then once it's done, we're gonna do camera type camera type custom, and then camera subject. How do we reset it? We can't use local player. I guess we just set it to nil. Here we go. Let's see if it works. So as you can see, it did not change my camera. But what if I use just game that camera? Now this is the current camera of the game. So it means it's not the local camera, so yep, that also doesn't work. So yeah, we do have to use the local script to do this, and I don't know how we're gonna force the player, you know, to look at that subject, because we don't even know where that thing is. But maybe there is still a way to make this work. Let me see. I'm gonna remove that. Maybe what I can do, gotta make sure these are set to persistent. So what I can do here is add a object value to the trigger, which will then have that model for us so we could refer back to it. So here we go, I'm gonna do that. And then if we do go to ray casting, here we should be able to actually access that model. So let's see, here I'm gonna say if raycast that instance and raycast that instance dot model. So we're gonna do find first child. Then we got in print model. We could do watch. Watch model, which would be raycast instance find first child model that value. So yeah, let's see if that works. So if it prints out the model's name, then that means we could probably make this work with local script. So I'm just gonna look at it. Oh, it does. Look at that. It actually does work. So if you look at the console, it prints out what we're currently looking at. So that is actually really good. That is what we needed. So now that we know this actually works, we can actually make this thing work. So we could do camera and then use force lock or force lock and add the model. There we go, we're done. Very simple. And here, all we have to do is create this force look function. And then we can do camera.subject, enum.camera type.scriptable, camera.camera subject equal model. I think there's like also, how do we lock it? Is there like lock? Head lock? Whether the camera will be automatically tracked, will automatically track the head motion of the player using VR device. Camera.camera. How do you like lock it? I think there was something called focus or something like that. Sets the area in 3D that is personalized by Roblox graphics. Focus equal model. I think this model does not have a primary part, which I think it should have one, which is going to be the head. Yeah. Primary part of that will be the head, which is what we needed to focus on. So the focus has to be like a C frame, which is gonna be model. Now this is only gonna work if there is a part that we need to look at, right? Look at equal model get primary part. So we're gonna say look at, then we can use this focus function, which is gonna use the look at dash C frame. I'm sure there's another one called camera dot. What's the other one? I can't remember. Why do we have a lot of fucking stupid things there? Headlock, scale, camera time. We're gonna keep it like that for now. Okay, so now this should actually change what we're looking at basically when we go to the stair part. Oh, something did happen, but we got an error. I think it's because I'm spelling primary wrong, probably. Let me see. Am I spelling that wrong? Oh yeah, you have to say get primary C frame, not just primary part. There we go. So yeah, we should also not be able to walk as well when we're doing this. Oh my god. That's the issue now. C-frame is not a valid member of C-frame. Whoops. Okay, so here we already have the C-frame basically. That's what get primary part C-frame is. So we don't have to, you know, get the C-frame of it again because we already have it. All right, now let's see. Ooh. I don't know what the heck is going on. But that did not work. Maybe I should remove this lookup function. I think it's because of the lookup function that I added. For some reason, that didn't work. What the fuck? Why is it doing that? C-frame. I think I have to do C-frame. Because we are using a C-frame here, so maybe that's one. Ooh. Okay. That kind of works. That did work a little bit, but we need to move back a little bit. What, do I use a vector? I think so. Vector. I think I have to use minus here. See if I'm done. New. So it's gonna be Z. So we're gonna go like around maybe 100. Let's go 10, 0. That kind of worked. A little bit. That was actually way great. Uh-oh, fuck. C-frame got vector. Oh, great. It got C-frame, so it needed a vector. But, okay, here we go. Let's try again. Ooh. Very interesting. That's the thing with this. If I just set it to this, it doesn't, well, it does move. But it's just that it's way too close. As you say, it's way too close to the user. And it's twisting as well for some reason. That's why we needed, like, you know, a camera here or something that will act as looking at the model itself. But this thing rotates, which the camera also has that effect as well when that's happening. So we really cannot use that as the primary part. I think we need to use a different part for the primary. Like the torso, I think. Because the torso is not going to be moving. So it's probably a good idea to use the torso. Yeah, right there. So we're gonna go with the upper, has the primary part, and use that one. I think we have to do minus vector new. Let's go 10, 0, 0. I think it's Z that I have to change instead of the other one. Ooh. Interesting. I can see myself, so. Yeah, we need like, I don't think this is gonna work. We need to like create parts that are going to be looking at that thing. So we, and then just be pointing at it. So we need to do this and then rotate that. Gotta remove the transparency. And yeah, this is what we're gonna be using as the camera head for our guy. Let's take this. Okay. Where the fudge? Oh, there we go. Okay, so now let's see if that works. So now it's gonna be looking at this, which means we don't really have to do anything here. It's just gonna stay at that position. Ooh. Okay, this one is looking that way, so that means I need to rotate it. So it's looking this way. This is the look. Seems like this is the look side. So I have to go like that. There we go. Okay, now let's see what we get. So if we go close, bam, ooh, look at that. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's actually kind of good. I think we could take this a little bit closer and higher as well. Like that. And yeah, you can't really move. Ooh. Interesting. Gonna put it a little bit higher maybe. Ooh. uh. Okay, that's good. So what we need to do here is send that and then disable it later on, like halfway through. So we could add that, and we need like a way to force back, which is gonna, you know, set the camera back to default. So that's gonna be camera type custom. I think that's what it's called. And then subjects. This is the part that I don't know what it's supposed to be. I think it's just supposed to be middle. That's how you reset it. So this is what force back will do. And we're gonna put this, because this ray casting is gonna keep on firing over and over and over again. We also need to do something about this. If it's the same object that we already sent something to it, it should not, you know, send it again. Basically, it should filter that out. That's what this is here for. So what we can do here is actually enter it here to like tell it not to send that information again. So like right here we could do ignore rays, right? Ignore instance, and that's going to be an empty object. Put this here. And it seems like we have to reset this all every time, basically. Right, that, and then over here on the bottom, actually we should only do this whenever we have to. So like right here, for example, we are gonna have to do that because we will store this new instance, basically. So we're gonna do that and then do raycast that instance. So that's gonna make sure that it doesn't, you know, reuse the same thing, the same instance again. It doesn't, you know, come across the same object that it did like before. So right here is going to say print instance look at instance ads, and then we say raycast that instance that name. So just going to print what we're currently looking at, and it's only going to print this one time, basically. That's what this will do. But of course, for that to work, we have to update this, I think. So we're going to go ahead and do that right here, and we're done. There we go. So now it's gonna do that. It's gonna do this force look, and then we're gonna set task that delay. We're gonna do it for like maybe 1 second, and then in the delay, we're gonna give it a function called camera force look. Wait, force back, and we're done. So it's gonna wait for 1 second, and then it's gonna call this force look function, which will cause the camera to look back at the player, basically. So let's do it. Here we go. Let's get it. Okay, so you can see now it's only printing what I'm looking at only one time, basically. And if I look at it, because there are a lot of parts here, so it will print what I'm currently looking at, but it's only going to print that one time, which is good, which, you know, will also save resources and memory. So you can see now I'm looking at huggy, wuggy, puppet, and parts of it, but that is only being printed one time. And if I look at one of the part here, there we go, you can see, yeah, what the fuck? Why did that happen? That makes no sense. Is it because of this task delay function? Same saying raycast instance. It does trigger, but for some reason the look happens like really late. It's really late for some reason. It makes no sense. Yeah, the look should actually happen right before we send the request, I think. Yeah, that's when the look should happen. And I don't know what the fuck's going on here. For some reason, the part also was visible to us, which makes no sense. It was not supposed to be visible. I think I broke something when I used this filter function again. Oh, there we go. Well, it should force back to the player, but it didn't. It didn't look back for some reason. Let me see. Print. Force back. I think it's because of this camera subject thing here that I'm using. Fixed scriptable track watch. I think by default this is set to custom, like the camera is set to custom by default. Oh, actually never mind, it's set to fixed. Huh. Interesting. That was set to custom file. What do I do with this part though, you know? Actually, I don't think we need to do anything with that part. I think we just need to do this, that's all. Because I'm really sure that's what we're supposed to do, because the camera subject thing doesn't seem to be doing anything. I had to use the fucking C-frame to actually do that, so yeah, you see? Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh, right. I think we need to reset the C-frame as well. No? What the fuck is going on? Okay, let me see. I need to know like what's going on with this camera thing? Like, how do you reset it to default? Okay, so it is actually custom. Oh, the subject is the humanoid. It's basically the player's humanoid. And the default is set to custom. Okay, so that's what we have to do. So right here at the look back, we're gonna go ahead and say custom, and then the camera subject will be the humanoid. So that's gonna be player.humanoid, player.character.humanoid, and we're done. Okay, this time it should work, I think. It's gonna do that and then get back to us. Alright, so we look at the thing and then it looks back to us. As you can see, why is this thing here? That should not be there. And we do get the first back output. But yeah, I don't know why that was here. Fucking block. It was visible, I could actually see it for some reason. I wonder why. Oh, wait, I think I know why. Yes, it's the fucking show function. When that happens, it actually does that, let me say. boolean. Okay, let's go back here. Gotta fix this show and hide function. As you can see right here, it says, you know, all this shit. So what we can do here is do if p and p get attribute ignore then and not, which is say and not p get attribute ignore. Then we can do this. Same thing on this other one as well. And yeah, that should fix that problem that we had. So yeah, now the jump scare actually does work better. So you can see, does that, and yeah, you can now actually walk close to it. Very good. Now the other, oh, that actually kind of got me a little bit, not gonna lie. That one is not gonna be focused on, but this one up here, I do want to make this one be a focused one. So if I click here, right? And if I look at it, that has to be focused thing, screen jump. Yeah, the sound has to also stop as well at the same time. Because we do send the request to the client, so we should have a way to also stop that sound from playing. You know. Let's see, okay. So yeah, that's basically the other. That's the camera thing. Let's go ahead and add it to this one as well. The reason why I need to add it to this is because you could also press the buttons in different positions. So if you stand there and press it, and then you look at it, the animation will just walk through there. So what I want to do is, if the player stands on this side and then presses the button, it will focus on the jump scare basically. So the user will actually see the jump scare instead of, you know, not seeing it. Ah, great. Let's fucking do that. Ah. Which one? Yep, that's the one. Does it have? Oh, it does. Just moves the thing. So this one has to be. the camera thing work again? I forgot. So it uses this from the instance, so it has to be like, yeah, okay. It doesn't have to be the model, basically. This is just like something that points back to that object. So what I can do, I think it's the third one, so that points back to stairs. Interesting. What the fuck? Why is it pointing to that? We don't even need that. We just need the camera thing, really. It's gonna point to that one. Oh, transparent one. There we go. All right. So this will also have that model, which is gonna be looking at. I think that's all we have to do. We just have to add the camera and, oh, we forgot to anchor the fucking part. It's gonna fall down if we don't do it. Oh, one thing. This is actually gonna be moving, so I have to move it down here. Yeah. Yeah, I think we have to do that instead of just pointing to that model, because we're not really using it. All we're doing is looking for the camera. It's just right there. So what we can do here in this is just look for the camera, send it there. So this will send the camera, which is what we're trying to look at. So in this case, it sends in the part of what we need to work with. So this will be the part that we're currently looking at. So we have the part, and we could do part.cframe instead. That is what it will be. Instead of using the model, getting the value in the primary part shit, that's pointless. Just pointless stuff. I think we're done. Let's see if it works. Oh fuck. I think I forgot again to fucking anchor that thing. It's so annoying. There we go. Okay, here we go. Let's try it. So now we're doing with oh, nice. It's gonna go away. Yep. It's kind of slow. I need to make that a bit fast, I think. Ooh, that one is actually crazy. You can see it come close to you, like when you're walking up the stairs. I think that's how I should make it. So if you're walking from this way, it's just gonna come out of nowhere. Instead of, I mean, even if you're walking from here as well, things should also be there as well. Ooh. Okay, here we go. This is the last jump scare that we have, that I added. Well, This is the last one in the level. So if I step away and I click it from here and I look, you can see that is what happens. Although I wasn't looking right straight at the player, the camera basically tilted and then focused right where the jump scare is, which is good. Which is what is supposed to happen basically. I like it, I like it. It's actually working. Very nice. Okay, tomorrow we're gonna come back and work on the sound thing. We need to make the sound in the background pause as well once this thing is done. So we should be able to send requests to stop that basically. Because the sound is actually being played on the local client's side basically, so it's not the server sound. And we already have that being handled by the client side, so the server side can communicate with the client side and tell it to stop that sound from playing. And we're gonna do that when the animation is done basically, or when the jump scare happens. That's when we're gonna stop that sound, or when the user actually looks at the object, and then it's gonna stop that sound from playing. We're gonna implement this maybe tomorrow. Right now we're just gonna stop here basically. Very cool. Yeah, I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. That's gonna be all for today's live stream. Have a good one, and yes, goodbye.